I'm Tom Wells, the inventor and founder of Away With Geese. I have two older brothers, and we grew up in Detroit, Michigan. My dad had a small mattress company that was a manufacturer. So every night at the dinner table, you learned about invoicing and receivables. It just got a real introduction into business. When I was 26, I ended up with my very first business, and I've had businesses ever since. Away With Geese has been a culmination of many of those businesses. I had a gentleman that was a very good mentor to me, and he had a 3-acre pond and had huge problems with geese, and he called me and asked me if I would look at it, and I said, I know nothing about geese. And he said, you didn't know a lot about a lot of things. Would you come out and look at it? I said, sure, I'd be glad to. We started putting our heads together, and I said, have you ever tried to light? So we hooked up a flotation that looked like the size of a picnic table and a great big light out there. It seemed to work. Now, this light needed a battery every 30 days, and I said, well, that's not going to work. You're going to have a solar type battery. So we just kept on kind of refining it some, and the more we refined it, the better off it seemed to be. My wife has lived with me through many a business that I've started, and when I came that we're going to take care of geese, she just became very quiet. We had 3 orders that first day. If you can think back to 2003, the internet is basically brand new. I can remember calling my wife and saying, we sold 3 units. I have no idea how these people found us. I don't know how this happened, but we did. At the start, we tried to sell 1 unit a day, and then slowly became 2 and 3 and 5, and just became a very, very nice business. We started out with a water unit. As we had that in that sales for about 3 months, all of a sudden we had people calling and saying, gee, I have geese up on my property. I don't have any water, but I have geese on my property. So it took a whole new design to come up with what we call a residential unit. Then we had industrial complexes called, so we had to come up with an auger that went down in the ground, held our product, and you just couldn't remove it with your hands. From there, we went into the roof unit. Our customers have moved us to where we had to, so now I think we've got them all covered. The product started being made in a 15 by 15 room behind our garage. Then we moved to a new facility, and we outgrew that facility and bought a facility. In 2022, Jason, my son, and Jody, my daughter, took over the company, and they've done a marvelous job ever since. Had to learn how to retire, and I probably wasn't too good at it to start, but I've slowly learned. But I come back and see them an hour a week and just check up on them. I'm very fortunate to have 4 grandchildren, and they love to come to the factory, and they love starting with projects and seeing something through. It started with selling 3 units the first day, and now, many, many years later, there's 35,000 units in the United States, Canada, and Europe. Wherever there's a geese problem, we'll be there to solve that problem.